Okay, yeah. Oh, hey, how you doing there? This is Terry Dodge. Yeah, coming at you here. We're going to do this interview with Smallmouthman video thing. So, if you remember a few weeks ago on social media, I asked you to ask me some questions about smallmouth fishing, and I was going to answer those questions for you. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get around to answering those questions. But first, I want to mention, what you're looking at here. As you can see, I I got a different look going on here. That's because we hired a special effects lady to come in here and put some touches on our videos. To bring a little bit more excitement to them. So she's a real nice lady, and she's unfortunately she had a kind of rough go of it. Sometime in her life where she was, working, and she had this little hula hoop accident in a bar, and she lost her, her half her leg on her right side. So anyway, she's, we're trying to help her out a little bit, and anyway, her name's Eileen, and we want you to welcome her to the staff. So hopefully, she's gonna bring some excitement to these videos a little bit. So anyway, let's get around to these questions here. The first question, that I was asked there on social media was from Forrest, and he was asking about the lips on a smallmouth. I'm not sure where he was going with that, but I could tell you, I don't know a whole lot about the lips on a smallmouth, but I do know that one thing I do is when I'm fishing, I like to take my hooks, whether I'm fly fishing or if I'm using lures, and I like to take the hooks and I that little barb on the underside there of the hook. I like to take my little pliers and I crimp those down, so they're nice and flat. And sometimes you could hit them with a file if you want, and that way when you do catch a smallmouth, those the hooks come out of their lips real nice and easy, and you can release those fish right back into the water, so they can live to fight another day. And that's basically what the goal is for most smallmouth fishermen, is to get those fish back in there, and keep them healthy. So anyway, now the second question I got was from Robert, and he was asking how big small was. Um, I kind of understand the question because a lot of times in my reports I use the word dink, D-I-N-K, dink. Yeah, a dink to me, that's a small fish, and I consider all fish, under 12 inches to be dinks, which is a small fish. So I guess how big small is a dink is a small fish. So that's under 12 inches. That's how big small is. Okay, now the third question is from Spencer, and he was asking about colors, what kind of color I use under certain water conditions and stuff, and basically like when I'm fishing tube bait, uh, I use a pumpkin seed green. Pumpkin seed is a popular color, and anyway, but when the water gets a little bit more stained, like if you're fishing in right directly after a rain, a good downpour, and the water's real muddy. That's the more muddy or stainier that the water is. You want to adjust, and you want to use a darker color is what I would suggest under those kind of circumstances. The dirtier you want to go darker, like with a black or a dark blue is a good color. So yeah, go darker, with the stain, because they project a better profile for the fish to recognize. So okay, now the next question I had was from J Ro, and he was asking about because he sees I'm on social media a lot, and and I'm making these videos a lot. And he says, well, you're doing all this stuff, and you're not out fishing. Well, why aren't you out fishing? Well, that's because, I like to, unfortunately, we get a lot of rain, and, rivers are running high, and I would be out there fishing if I could, but, I want to go safety first. So, that's, everybody should always think about safety first. So that's why I'm not out there. I mean, truthfully, J. Roy, you're starting to sound like, my wife. So, believe me, if I could be out there, I'd be out there. Now, the next question I got was from Bruce, and he was asking about a fish being stuck to some sort of appendage of mine or something. And okay, now see, I want to answer all the questions. I appreciate all the questions that you all gave me, and I want to answer all the questions. And we got to hire somebody to do the lights in the studio now too, apparently. But anyway, uh, yeah, I want to answer all your questions. I appreciate all your questions, but I think he was kind of trying to go to some place that who probably shouldn't go to. That and I think Forrest was with his lips question was trying to kind of lean in that way too. But anyway, yeah, we're not. This is supposed to be family friendly video, so we're not gonna go there. And I appreciate if we try not to ask those questions again. In the future, if we decide to do this again. Okay, now one question, that which most people, have to people that ask the questions, they half of them ask this, they want to know where, and I mean, like Brian, he just flat out asked me where do I catch my fish, and then there's Bill, he asked where, but he kind of laughed about it because he knows that probably not going to tell you where I catch my damn fish at. So, and then we got. Paul, I mean, he wants to know, is it, does he, he wants to know what my opinion is if I think, it, if I think it's not, right or selfish to share my spots with other people and stuff. And then Tom, he was just asking, what I consider to be top 5 smallmouth waters, I guess, in the area. And that's still, I mean, that's another where question, kind of. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to tell you where I catch my fish. I catch my fish in Illinois, so there you go. Uh, but I can tell you where not to fish. Uh, the one thing that always bothers me is like when you're putting your canoe, your kayak, or what boat, whatever. When you always got that guy that's fishing at the boat ramp, and he always he seems to get all upset because you're putting your boat in or out, and that's. I don't know why people fish at boat ramps and then get upset like that. I mean, so that's a place I would tell you not to fish at. I mean, that would save you a lot of heartache, I guess. I don't know why you'd want to fish at a boat ramp. I mean, it just don't make sense. Another good place is no, not a good place. Another bad place is those people who fish off the bridges, and you going underneath the bridge in your kayak, and all of a sudden you get a treble hook in the back of your neck or on your ear. That can turn a good day into a really bad day. So I would say don't fish off the bridge. Yeah. So yeah, don't fish off the bridges, and don't fish at boat ramps. And well, basically, I think if you see me, then I that's probably a bad place to be too. So don't fish where I fish. So that's just me.